Speaking of flip-flop, not that this is necessarily a flip-flop, I'm sure the answer is more nuanced than that, but Congressman Kirk, in May the U.S. House passed legislation to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It's a policy that prevents gay members of the military to serve openly. You voted against it.
That's
Why?
right. Because I think we should wait for the Joint Chiefs of Staff to report as they are scheduled in December. This was actually the recommendation of Secretary Gates and the President, but Speaker Pelosi wanted to move forward anyway. The problem here is when you remove a policy, you've got to have a new policy. I look at this from the perspective of a first sergeant running a platoon or a chief running a department on a ship. And if you have no new policy, the first question they're going to ask is, when I have problems, what am I supposed to do?
So once the study is done, and if they say yes, you're willing to read it?
I'm going to read every word of that study because it may be rare in Washington to actually read everything and look at the key documents, but the United States military is one of the largest and most complicated institutions on the planet, operating in all 24 time zones, and its fundamental mission is the defense of the United States. And so if we're going to change a policy, I will tell you, from the deck of a ship or from an infantry platoon, the first question you're going to ask is, what's the new policy? And you have to have the new policy ready.
How long have you been in the military now?
21 years.
And do you know any gay people in the military?
I don't. Not openly.
So, according to this Tribune, 1 in 4 people in the military say they do know gay people, and that they would have no problem serving with gay men and women. That in terms of effectiveness, in terms of how they do their duties, not a problem.
Look, I think we should do it in a very deliberate and a detailed way, which is the Joint Chiefs of Staff have now said that they're going to report. The administration right now is all cattywampus on its policy. First, it says that it wants this repealed right away. Then a court says to repeal it now. Then the administration brings suit to block the court. I'm actually not sure where the administration is. Better to let the Joint Chiefs of Staff report in December.
Want to weigh on this before we move on?
I am for the full repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I think it's offensive and egregious that over the years we've kicked 14,000 Americans out of the military. These are men and women who are willing to die for this country, and we say they're not good enough. We're the only industrialized country to do so. I think it's a wrong-headed policy. I don't think it's good for our national security. I think it goes against the spirit of what this country has always been built up. And at a time when we need the best and brightest in the military, at a time when we're actually giving exemptions to felons to serve in the military, we're telling people because of their sexual orientation they're not allowed in the military. I think it's a step backward for this country.